Everyone else was shocked, but these guys were laughing it off. So,
oh my gosh.
So that being said, from peeing on your leg in the bathroom to blind melon covers, this is open mic. It's been moved to Thursdays at this convention now, so that's great. This is an 18 plus panel, so we're not going to get on to you for swearing at some cons. It's not exactly 18 plus, but at this con it is. So the way this is going to work, if you have a bit that you want to tell, if you want to get up here and do a few minutes of stand-up comedy, if you just want to get up here and tell a joke, we're not here to judge you. We're just here to have fun. So this is kind of your open slot time, just to kind of have fun with that if you want to do something comedy-based. I do ask that we just kind of keep it within reason. The only thing that Alkali and myself don't really go for with this is we try to steer away from extreme shock humor, things such as extreme racism, things like that. I mean, we're all friends here. We just want to have fun. That being said, though, my name is Citrine Husky, and I'm going to have Poker Wolf, who's going to be my eyes because God gave me none, so I'm taking his. And so, with that being said, if you would like to come up here and show us what you got, then raise your hand, and Poker will call on you, and we'll introduce you, and we'll let you have it.
Just a quick clarification. Every set will have Alkali. 3 to 5 minutes. What do you think?
This many people? 5 minutes.
Okay. You'll have 5 minutes to perform. You'll have a total of 5 minutes to be on stage. At 4 minutes, I'm going to rise from my chair. At 30 seconds, I'm going to get on the stage. If you go much farther past that, I'm going to get really awkward with you.
Somebody go beyond.
Hi.
how are we supposed to know if you come up on the stage?
That'll work for the charity.
I'll be the one that gets awkward.
Yeah, good.
So, do we have any volunteers to go up first? We've got one right over here. And what is your name?
Eric?
Ladies and gentlemen, first, give it up for Eric!
How's your Thursday going, everybody? That's wonderful. Okay, quick show of hands. My native Wisconsin furs here.
Shit.
Okay, one. Do you snowmobile?
What?
Do you snowmobile?
I have not.
Okay, then you're not one who wished for all that snow we had recently.
Definitely not. It's going to.
All right, so another quick show of hands. Who here has that specific person in your life who knows how to take advantage of, say, a funny moment? Like, okay, for example, let's say you're walking along with said person, and out of nowhere they say, hold out your hand. And you don't give it 2 seconds thought. You just hold out your hand, they put something in their hand, and they take off running. And you're standing there wondering why, until you feel the object moving. You look down, it's a freaking nightcrawler.
Yeah, only if you're scared of that.
That example actually happened to me when I was about 8, and and that person did it was my father. And the reason why he did it, because he knew I could not catch him. So, a quick story involving both him, my uncle, his brother-in-law, and at a funeral wake. Okay, who here believes in the paranormal? Okay, I have an uncle who does not. And that day he became a believer. Sort of. They were, my dad and my uncles and whatnot, they were at this wake for a dearly parted friend. I believe her name was Arlene. And they were just standing around talking good stories. And all of a sudden this sweet smell comes across them. My dad goes, oh, that smells like her perfume. I bet you she's here. And my uncle just starts going, no, that can't be her. I don't believe in all that stuff. Then later, all of a sudden, a foul smell comes across them. Like someone had cut the cheese. At this point, he becomes rattled. As the evening progresses, my uncle looks down a corridor, and he thinks he saw a door move by itself. He starts going down it to check it out. Then he feels this strange breeze across the back of his neck. He stops and freezes, and apparently, my dad said you could see the hair stand up on the back of his neck. So he blew on him again. And so as my uncle starts turning around slowly, my dad takes off like a real ghost. And the moral of that story is, do not ever be around a person like my father. Though he will do something that may annoy you, it'll still turn into a funny story later. He'll never do anything, these types of people never do anything to harm you. Even though you want to harm them. And that is my bit.
Awesome.
You get up there and yell at people. That's your job.
Yeah.
Did George?
My name's not on the panel.
Well, you came down here with me. You're like an accomplice now.
Hold on a second.
This is 18 plus.
Oh, fuck.
So Bob,
Oh my god, you said God.
oh my God, Don, you said God to try. God.
Oh God!
Ladies and gentlemen, next up to the stage, Tina!
Brown bear. Brown bear.
Brown
Bear, brown bear.
Brown bear. Wait, he has a name?
Yeah.
Why do I have to be brown? Fuck. We're judging already? I thought this was non-discrimination.
Light reflection.
Thank you. You know what? You got it made. I mean, I've been doing comedy for a while. Only tips is, don't assume what people want. Just tell it how it is. Like, I love ghost stories. Ghost stories always make me laugh. Like this man here. He comes up to me a couple years ago. He's like, hey, you want to go to a haunted house? Haunted place? I'm like, yeah, all right. I mean, I'm a fat man. We're love-sized people. Let me explain love-size real quick. Love-size people does the bare minimum. You like, baby, you want to lose some weight? That's fine, because we'll walk to McDonald's. That's how you work at love-size people. Because let me tell you something, ladies. I am your heat in the winter and your shade in the summer. That's how it works. But this man, as love-sized people we are, sit there and said, let's go to a haunted place. I'm like, all right. Sit there, people jump out at you. Get a taffy apple. I mean, yeah, love-size. Woo! He's like, nah, in a cemetery, real ghosts. Now you can tell I'm only hanging out with white people here. Because only you guys think of shit like this. So we go in the middle of this forest. Yeah, we had to park a while away. I mean, walk, cardio, things I don't know. So we're walking through it, and then you hear in the background. Y'all hear that, right? White people. Yeah, let's keep going. So we continue walking. Go in this cemetery. What was it called again?
Bachelor's Grove.
Bachelor's Grove.
Oh, that's not ominous.
So yeah, talk about bandit and thriller. So walking through this, and then you hear, wanna play? I'm a hell no. I don't care, ladies. I'll tell you something. I will fight a bear, a serial killer, anything. When it comes to Casper, you're fucked. I was already in the car and la 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 la. I don't care if you're my mom. I will dare get him. And my girlfriend will be like, she got friends too. I'll give you all of their names. Go to a place that's haunted. You know, one thing I love in this furry community, how you guys are getting it right. With the polar vortex all this winter, everyone's freezing their ass off, and everyone's suited up like, what's the problem now? Oh, y'all want to crawl inside like a tauntaun? You are some damn nerds, by the way, if you got that damn joke. Shame on each and one of you. Oh my God. But I'm gonna end it.
On the outside.
Now, like me and Truck Bear and Toshu went to a water park. I haven't gone one for a while. I was like, hell yeah, summer. I like to swim Puerto Rican. Woo! And So I was on one of my favorite rides. I'm sitting there splashing around, water's going up my ass, having a good time. Woo! Security guard comes up to me, he's like, "Sir, could you please get the hell out of the drinking fountain?" I thought this was a water park. Alright, but that's all I got, and I've been drinking too much today.
Alright, that was my choice. Citrine, now it's up to you.
Oh my God.
Citrine, blind guy, turn around. There's a blind guy raising his hand.
Wow. It's a tough act to follow, but we figured 2 of you is better than 1.
So who's Mr. Magoo now?
Alright, where we go? Someone help me find the stage.
Oh my god, they're both blind. Holy shit, I forgot.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's weirdest nepotism!
Alright, we have the stage around here somewhere. Where is
Step
it?
up, step up. Step up.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go.
That's okay, I hardly ever trip over anything.
That's a microphone.
Yep.
This is my favorite panel now.
Awesome. Alright, what microphone do I talk into? This one?
That one.
Hi everyone, is this working?
Close enough.
Well, good enough. How's everyone doing tonight? Having a good time? No, you gotta work harder than that to convince me. I can't see how many people are out there. It might be 20, it might be 20,000.
This is what this community needed. More blind people. I love all of the art. It's so good.
So in case anyone was wondering, yes, everyone who's handicapped knows everyone else with the same handicap.
It's true.
So we're going to tell you guys a story about blind camp. This is summer camp, everyone there is blind. It's a very weird place.
This is how we all meet each other. You can't
So
explain it.
this is the tale of Watermelon Kid. Oh, Watermelon Kid. Now, as everyone but Citrine can see, I'm a fat guy. And I like to eat food, and that's where this story starts.
Always.
So, it's where all our best stories start. So we're at summer camp, right? And they're doing color wars. Now, Ryan and I have been awful all summer. We're just the worst. Everyone hates us.
Usually.
And we got to feeling bad about this because color wars started up, and we got yelled at by another person we know, a blind person. And I decided I'm gonna represent the team in color wars. So I sit down for this watermelon eating contest. I figure I'm good at this. I'm a fat guy. I'm a fat ass. I can do this. I'll win it. And it's a 2-on-2, and they tell me we're eating watermelon. Now I love watermelon. It's not, it's not nacho cheese. Doesn't scratch the itch just right, but it'll do it. I know it's only fruit, but I figured I'd make an exception. So I sit down, and it's 2-on-2, and it is the camp's other fat guy. Every camp has to have 2 fat guys so they can have a rivalry when there's an eating contest. True. I had to sign a contract when I showed up at the camp. So they throw down these trays of watermelon in front of us, and there's a full tray and an empty tray. And the rules of the game are, eat a slice of watermelon, throw the rind on the other plate. Whichever team of 2 has the most rinds on their other plate by the end is the winner, right? Fairly simple. Now, my partner, who was someone who joined up with the watermelon eating team because he hadn't really gotten to do anything in Color War so far, and we wanted to give him a chance, had never eaten watermelon before. Never, ever. Just never eaten it. And nobody told him that you're not supposed to eat the rinds.
Oh, God.
So, I'm playing 1-on-2, eat the most watermelons. And it's not the craziest story of all time. I won by 1. I beat the other 2. I not only beat the camp's other fat guy, but I beat his player 2. All by my fat fucking self. But it was fruit, so I didn't have to feel too bad about it. Now, that's where that story ends, right? Right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Right? That's where that story ends?
It was very memorable, this one watermelon kid who we only knew by the name Watermelon Kid.
That's all. We only know. Now,
I could tell part 2 if you'd
it'd
like.
be great if that's where the story ended. I'm going to let Ryan tell part 2.
So, this camp is up in the north tip of New Jersey. This is where we're both from. And he lives in the southern tip of New Jersey, around down by Atlantic City. And we like to, hang out from time to time. And it's the week before we're both going to go off to college. So we figured, well, let's go all out, let's hang out, let's have a good time. And it was a funky week. You know those weeks where you don't really know when it's daytime? It's one of those kinds of weeks. And we're both, staying up all night and where are we gonna go today? It's gonna be fun. Let's go to the boardwalk. Why are we going to the boardwalk? We have video games. We don't need to go to the boardwalk. It's fine. How do we play video games? I don't know. It's adds to the mystery. And so it's one of those nights and we decided, let's stay up all night. Let's go get some breakfast. And I don't know what's happening. We're sitting around and I go, what if you had a trombone? And we're both musicians. And he's like, I'd love to get a trombone. And we've been up for like 48 hours at this point. We're like, trombones, those are great.
It was getting absurd.
So what do? We call an Uber and we go to the nearest tiny little music rental store on a whim to buy a trombone that none of us can play.
I did get the trombone, by the way. It's kind of irrelevant to the story, but my dad made me return it. It was fun.
So we're in this tiny store in the southern, part of New Jersey, and we're not really thinking, we're just there to get a trombone. And in walks this kid and his father, and the father comes up to us and says, "Hey, we think you know my son from camp." And we're like, who do we know from camp that would be in this store? And we start talking to him, and we realize it's the fucking watermelon kid. What the hell's he doing in South Jersey?
Just out
2 years later.
I didn't even realize. We got home. It had been like an hour since we got, we did a bunch of stuff later that day. Anyway, we got home later, and Ryan was like, that was Watermelon Kid? And I was like, no way, that was fucking Watermelon Kid?
So,
my mind was blown.
Yep. So that's the end of the story, because we're being told we've done too much. I love being cuddled. Thank you for the cuddles. It feels
I'm
great.
being cuddled. Thank you.
Okay, you don't want me to guide you off.
Okay, Rochelle.
As long as I can find my way to the floor without falling on it face first, I'm happy.
Take this. Step right in front of you. Step right in front of you.
Alrighty.
Let's go to the ground. Those are stairs.
Hey, I found it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm drunk.
Awesome. Hey guys. Thank you very much.
Guys, give them another round of applause. All right, hands up. Who wants to come up next? 5 minutes set. I see a rat that wants to come up on stage. And what was your name again?
Damon.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tamers!
Cool, I have 2 mics.
That's a thing.
This is twice as bad as it was 2 seconds ago. So, Squeak, I'm Dittman, I'm a rat. And not only am I a furry, I am one of those furries who insists that I am a real rat and annoys the heck out of everyone else. Hey, we're out and outing. Hey, why don't you take that head off? It's getting really hot. What head? I know it's gonna be horrible. Everyone's gonna hate me. And I do it like at least 50% of the time. So, in actuality, what I say is I'm a shapeshifter, so I do have a human form, and I want to do some compare and contrast with my rat self and my human self, because a lot of the times they are not similar at all. All right, there's a ton of directions I could take this way, but I'm going to stick with senses, okay? So stuff like hearing. Okay, actually both of us are good at hearing. Speaking of hearing, I'm actually opening for Fox and Peppers tomorrow. Advertisement over. Okay. Next, sight. That doesn't work as well because rats have very bad sight, but my human self has very good sight when he's wearing glasses. So, now, sense of smell is the big difference, okay? All right, I'm a rat. We're known throughout the animal kingdom as expert sniffers, okay? All right, I'm amazing, and I'm going to improve it right now. So, I'm covering my eyes, and for anybody who, I'm going to make up a random question. Anybody who hates red lines, raise your hand. Raise them high, okay? See, I can tell exactly how many people are raising their hands by how much BO just wafted up, okay? See? But my human self is like, my sense of smell is non-existent. If you open a bag of popcorn, I basically have to put my face in the bag to reach it, like. So if someone's cooking dinner, I actually have to see the food I'm eating to know what it is, you know? I can't walk in and go, ooh, pork roast. I love pork roast. You're gonna have to tell me. Let's see. Now, of course, those are all good smells. In terms of like bad smells, I do see I was just sitting next to one of them, a skunk. You know, that's a very strong smell, and when it's far away, I can actually smell it a little bit. And it's like life-changing that I can actually sense this new sense in my nose. It's like, whoa, that's something that exists. And it's actually a pleasant smell to me only because it's far away and it actually does something. I'm sure if like the skunk was right in my face and sprayed, I would be, yes, this is less pleasant. But you know, one more, I guess, sense of taste. Is that supposed to be directly related to smell, right?
Figure it out.
I hear that, like if you eat an apple and a potato with your nose clipped, you can't tell the difference, but I can. How does that happen? It's like, I'm wondering if my tongue has sort of like superpowers. My taste buds are super taste buds, and they can tell the difference between anything, but it's being stunted by my nose. It's like I'm my own kryptonite. All right? So, you know what? Whenever I think about that, I think, well, all right, I could be a superhero, but just gotta let it go. Take a deep breath. Oh, there's the BO again. Thank you.
There we go. Give it one more round of applause, and oh no. Do I really have to give Huskoon a mic?
I'm on board directors. I've never done this before.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to make a grave mistake. Give it up for Huskoon!
I was just thinking, do I really not need a mic? Am I really that loud? That's awesome.
All right, perfect. All right, so I come up here, I'm already at a disadvantage because, well, this is one field where I am because one, I'm white, and two, I'm male. And I have nothing to talk about. I can't, if I was a woman, I could talk about, you know, my period and how gushy it is and how irritating it is and how awful it is. And just how mean I am during it. But if you say it to me, no, so I can't make those kind of jokes. I am kind of Christian, so I can't make the Jewish jokes like Alkali can, who's not here to defend himself. But, you know, he deals with it. I'm not any other religion, which we're not allowed to talk about right now because of, you know, social media. I know these are all going to end up on social media. That's what's going to be the end of me. Have you guys been on social media before?
Yep.
It's awful. Why do we do this? It's almost like being on meth, except for, I think there's more health benefits to being on meth than there is social media. Like, hey, I'm just gonna do some meth. Hey, at least I lose weight. With social media, what do? You get a couple of fake friends and a lot of stress. And you get to see how much better everyone's life is, except for everybody else is awful. Like, literally everybody is awful. Have you met a good person in the news because of social media? Apparently there was someone who got attacked in Chicago and then found out, oh, he didn't get attacked in Chicago. Wonderful people out there. What else can't I make jokes about? Let's see. I can't make jokes about being white because white people are so boring. Oh, I can make jokes about otters. Otters are like the Michael Phelps of the fandom. Actually, that's a good thing, isn't it? Shoot, scratch that. Otters are like the black holes of the fandom. What?
I'm the only one who get to make dark jokes around here. I got the color for it. Come here. First and foremost, who out there likes chocolate? So,
White chocolate.
So just to let you know, I work at Whole Foods. It's okay. You know, this lady came up, we had to sell one on Amazon Prime, and like, there's this dark burnt banana chocolate sitting in front, and she's like, oh my God, this looks so good. And I'm sitting here like, oh, it's decent. She's like, is it good? I'm like, well, it's 90% cocoa and it's banana. And she's like, so is it like a fried banana? I'm like, yeah, sure, but keep frying it. And she's like, does that mean it's good? I'm like, well, if it's darker than me, it's probably nasty. So she did. Don't be surprised. Just,
Are you saying you're nasty?
no, I'm saying I'm a black guy. No, you don't get that.
I do!
No, you do. Come here, give me a hug. I want a hug. Do you think I'm ottering?
Whatever. I don't care.
No. Am I an otter? Am I an otter? Oh my God. Okay. You're the third person who called me a lion today.
I keep seeing it as a cat all the time. I'm fine.
Someone out in the hallway called me Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks, and I lost my shit.
No, I didn't cross that line with you. You can hug me.
You sure?
Yeah.
I got lion, squirrel, Alvin from the Chipmunks, and some little critter thing from an anime. I don't know. But everything but otter. Do believe I got the webs, I got the rudder. I'm brown since that's my skin. So, otter, okay? You got that?
So basically, you have 27 minutes of material just because you're black. Yeah.
Not.
This is like the only area, well, that in the NBA where black people have an advantage.
He's done.
All right, let's hear it for Simba.
What is this? Off the rails.
I'll put this one back up. All right, still got some more time. Who's up next?
Woo!
All right,
The man who met the legend.
Dusty.
ladies and gentlemen, first, give it up for Dustin.
This one? I'll use this one. Yeah, sure. So be gentle with me. I am fairly new to the comedy scene. I'm beginning to realize that it is much like the first time you ever had sex. It's going to be a little bit awkward. A lot of my peers have actually started later than me. And at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, I'm going to go looking over the footage from the hidden cameras and wonder what the fuck went wrong. But yeah, so my name is Dusty in the fandom. Obviously, my real name is Gabriel Rodriguez, but apparently, if I decide to go by Gabriel Hispanic last name in comedy, it's already fucking taken. Thanks, Fluffy. I appreciate that. But we want to talk about names. I'm a little weird when it comes to names. I have a difficulty trying to date anybody that that has the same name. I'm not going to be able to date like a Jesse or another Allison or another Sarah. But that's one thing I like about our fandom here is the odds of me finding another Foxfucker 69 is slim to none. Actually, no. At this convention, it's pretty freaking accurate, but still. It's good to be here in Wisconsin. It's kind of bad just because I don't do well with dairy and such, so the concept of the land of the dairy does not sit well for me. And in the spirit with Fursquared being so close to St. Patrick's Day, anybody who's a fan of dairy and St. Patrick's Day knows that Shamrock Shakes are on the horizon. However, I call them the Shamrock Shits, but I'm okay with that. I'll deal with that. Now, the thing about the Shamrock Shake is I will treat myself to a small Shamrock Shake once a year. Doesn't do well, but I will do it. Now, you know how people say that they're either cat people or dog people? Here's a different story, but in general, they're cat people or dog people. I don't believe in that concept of cat people or dog people. I think specific parts of you are cat-esque and dog-esque. Your brain is very cat-esque. It looks at you and goes, okay. Your heart is very dog-esque. So it looks and goes, ooh, we're gonna get a Shamrock Shake. I want a Shamrock Shake. Let's get a Shamrock Shake. So then the cat side goes, hey, we're gonna go get a Shamrock Shake, but we're gonna get it small. We're also gonna get a regular hamburger and a small fry. Small shake, small fry, regular hamburger. Got it? Okay, fine. Drive-through lane. I'm thinking, this is going to be easy. Just repeat it. Small shake, small Shamrock Shake, regular hamburger. Fine. And then that sweet voice on the intercom goes, welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you? The dog side kicks in and goes, extra large Shamrock Shake, 2 double cheeseburgers. And then the cat side goes, fuck, and a small fry. That's my time. Thank you very much.
Well done. Was that really your first time doing it, open mic?
Ish.
I did once before.
Yeah. Still, very well done. Give a round of applause. I see a fursuiter in the back with their paws up in the air. If you would like to come and take the stage. He was a good boy. And who do we have here? Dustin Husky. Give him a round of applause.
Yeah!
Oh no, we have 2 of them now.
Yes. Dustin the Fox and Dustin the Husky.
There are now
Let's
2 of us. Hello, my name is Dustin the Husky, and I got a story from my reenacting days. This is Lowell, Indiana, 2011. And me and some buds go out reenacting World War II. All that fun jazz. Then, we're sitting around the campfire. It's on a Friday night. And we're about done setting up tent, whatnot. We ate stuff. We just threw stuff in a pot and said, done. Well, we sometimes like the party, and sometimes the party gets too much. And in our group, we got one guy I have never seen drink in 12 years, and for as long as I've known him, I've never seen him sip a drop. Until this night. Oh. He had been missing for about 4 hours until he stumbled back into camp and sat next to me around the fire. His name is Steve. So, he comes to me and says, hey, Dustin, you know, you and Julian could be really good friends because Julian is his grandson and he's been, you know, stealing stuff from the neighbors and whatnot. So he sees me as a good role model. He's like, hey, you should hang out with them. Maybe take them out to see a movie. You know, be a good big brother-esque thing. But he's obviously drunk. But then he keeps talking about it over and over again. He's like, hey, I want your MySpace, your email, please, just so that he can actually get in contact with you. Oh, okay, all right, well, I'll definitely get to it. And then he starts rambling on and on. And I get that. It's strange. I've never seen this guy drunk. But then he started getting closer to me. His face is getting closer and closer and then closer. His nose is touching me. And then suddenly, out from left field, he goes in towards my neck and kisses me. I don't know what had happened. I think maybe he had just, in his drunken stupor, he may have thought me as his wife. Maybe, I don't know, but all of a sudden he just leaned over and gave a nice smooch. Then, me in a very shocked state, like, wow, I got kissed. That's strange. By my best friend. And then he got up. He's wobbling around, and then falls back first into the fire. And then me, the only one who was sober, stands up and says, holy shit! But then everyone around the fire is pretty placid. We're all calm, except for me. Because I obviously someone like a worm wiggling in the fire, and his brother who was sitting on the opposite side of the fire, as he sips down a Coors and say, hey, someone should get him out of the fire. So here I am. I was only 120 pounds at that point. And here I am, I'm trying to pull my poor drunken friend out from the fire with his arms. I'm only making it worse. I am only roasting my poor friend on this fire. And then we finally got him out after he was in this fire for 2 minutes. And we wear wool uniforms. It's very hot as it is. And being in a fire, ooh. But the most amazing thing about this is that he was never touched by the flame. So then we got him back to his feet. We made sure he was okay. But as we stumbled, trying to get him into our old truck, I rolled down the window. I get him up on the seat. I step back, and I close the door. And then he just leans over all over the side of this truck. We took him back to his car. We made sure he was fine. The next morning, we tried washing the door, and it had stripped the paint. And to this day, he has no idea what has actually happened and why we call him Fireman Steve. And he still, to this day, does not know what had happened. And that is my story.
Give it up for Dustin! Citrine, I've chosen the last couple. How about you take a turn? This will be interesting.
What are you going to have me do?
Just choose who's coming up next.
You are
Just
not
look
my...
out into the audience and point.
You are not my friend after this. You're going to hell.
No, but
So?
In a handbasket?
All right, so just stick out your hand and let's see here. How about there?
oh boy.
That'll work.
Citrine, who did you choose?
How would you like to be introduced? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Julian!
I'm taking the mic because I'm too short for this stand. So mine's going to be a little different. I have this weird talent where I can connect things in my mind very quickly. I've recently learned how to harness this talent in conspiracy theories. So I'm going to ask my dear friends up front. I need 2 different words, preferably nouns. Poker, can you give me one?
Blue Man Group.
Blue? Oh boy. Okay. Citrine, can you give me the other?
Cadillac.
Because they made it easy.
Challenge accepted.
Do you need different words?
No. The Blue Man Group are officially taking over Cadillac. Think about it. Okay, one of their instrument things are the pipe things, correct? Yes, the ones that you whack with spatulas. All right, those kind of look like what's inside a car. As you can see, I'm not a mechanic, but there's no reason not to believe that the Blue Man Group are not taking over Cadillac. Have you ever noticed that they wear bluish gloves instead of painting their hands? Why wouldn't they paint their hands? They paint their face. Why do you think it's called a glove compartment?
Oh.
Do we ever remember the movie Cars and how every car speaks?
Yeah.
The Blue Man Group doesn't speak. Cadillacs don't speak. Why do the cars speak? This doesn't make any sense to me.
YouTube channels.
What?
I said I just unsubscribed from 4 YouTube channels.
Subscribe to me, Sloth Chronicles. Thanks. So, I haven't actually posted in a year and a half, but hey, let's see.
I need to hear more about this Blue Man Group Cadillac thing.
The Blue Man Group taking over Cadillacs? Whew. Let's see. Does anyone know where Cadillacs originated? By any chance? This is an actual question. This
Detroit.
Detroit. This joke's not going to work then.
The moon.
The moon. Oh boy. Why don't we have a Cadillac on the moon? Okay. Elon Musk, get on recovering the Mars rover. Send the Blue Man Group in a Cadillac to the moon to recover Oppie. If you don't know, the Mars rover died. This needs to happen. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know what's happening anymore, but the bottom line is the Blue Man Group is taking over Cadillac. Don't be surprised if the next time you buy a Cadillac, if you buy a Cadillac, I don't know why you'd buy a Cadillac, but you probably bought a Cadillac. It's being sold to you by a guy that doesn't speak, painted blue. Yes. That's all I
I have no idea what just happened.
got. Neither do I. This is my first time ever doing it.
Really? You did fantastic.
Thank you.
Give a round of applause, everyone.
Hey, if you like that, come to my panel at Fursquared Saturday at midnight. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hashtag
drop.
shameless plug.
Don't actually mic drop.
Yeah, I'm going.
Mic
All
drop.
right. So,
Do you want to use my hand again?
sure.
Think about
Phrasing.
I'm using your hand again.
it. It's all ready to go.
I don't know what we're doing anymore.
This is not the panel.
And we have a point right over there in that general direction. You, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Josh!
All right, this is my second time ever attempting comedy. My first time was a little over 5 years ago, my senior talent show. I actually put some prep into this and actually wrote some notes because I am terrible at actually remembering things. I should have done that for my senior talent show. It was not very good. I just went out on stage. I was like, yeah, I'm funny. I can tell jokes. I can totally do this. No, I cannot do this. So I just started to resort to just like low-key roasting all my friends. And I was in marching band. So like the band kid roasting people isn't like really the kind of guy you'd expect to have any right to actually roast people. And especially since I was roasting people in my own section. And so
God bless you.
in high school marching band, I wasn't actually in the marching portion of the marching band. I was in what was called the percussion pit. We just stood in front of the rest of the band playing. So while everyone's actually doing the thing that the band is named after, we're just standing up there playing. And it's like, okay, so why aren't we just called band then? Yeah. And actually, so I lied. It wasn't actually a talent show. It was like this weird, kind of like a male beauty pageant, except it's a bunch of weird, pasty white guys from Wisconsin. So it's just a pageant. And one of the sections was best dressed, and my friend Zach thought it would be hilarious to go on stage in like a full-on like dress and just go up there and be like, I thought it was best dress.
Whoops.
And somehow that got more laughs than the entirety of my stand-up bit. Yeah. The best part about my stand-up bit, though, was I was the only person in the talent show, or in the talent portion, who actually did a live talent. The other three contestants all had videos of them doing internet challenges. So we had a guy doing the cinnamon challenge, a guy doing the milk gallon challenge, a guy doing the saltine challenge, and then a guy just trying his hardest to not just like completely break down due to nerves. Woo! Thank you. Yeah, the final portion of the whole show it was like, I don't even remember what it was called. It was a weird school spirit portion. Like people just like go up there and show their spirit for the school. And for some reason, I had a lot of like recommendations from people I told I was doing the show to just do like a Chris Farley bit. For anyone who doesn't know, there was an old Saturday Night Live bit where Chris Farley was a motivational speaker, and he came to his family's home to give these two teenagers a pep talk about life and just to like help them out. And there's a bit at the end where he's like, "I'm gonna go to my van," because I don't remember why he needed to go to the van, and it was to get something. But as he's leaving, he trips and falls over and falls into a coffee table. I did not have a coffee table to do this with, so I just trip and fall onto the stage. And even though I got like 5 or 6 people recommending that I do this exact bit for this thing, nobody knew that was part of the bit. So I just fall on stage, and everyone is genuinely concerned that, oh my God, the fat kid just ate shit on stage. I hope he's okay. Yeah. Yeah. My favorite part about it, though, was first prize for the whole show was the following day at school. The winner got to be there was this weird chair on a cart, and two members of the football team would push the person on that chair to all of their classes. They got like a 5-person pizza lunch, and they got to read the school announcements that day. I got 3rd place. And for 3rd place, I got a giant piece of broccoli. And that was it.
Hell yeah!
Well done. I hope it doesn't take another 5 years for the next time you come up on stage. You did pretty nice.
It's too long, man. Come on.
All right, we have just enough time for maybe 1 or 2 more performances. Anyone else would like to come up? And I see your hand raised. How would you like to be introduced?
Dusty.
Wait, what?
Dusty.
Okay.
Dusty White.
Give it up for Dusty number 3.
Okay, so I didn't start this night understanding that I was going to do this, but fuck it. Let's go.
Woo!
So I want to talk about the fact that I'm a female LARPer. I play LARP, and that's like a thing that I do. I've been playing it for, I want to say, 15, maybe 18 years. And I'm really good at what I am. I'm a healer. I don't heal stupid. You get too far from me, and I'm not healing you. End of story. Some of the people in the audience know that I will not heal stupid. They've heard me say it for several years. So, I got into LARP from, I'll get it, I am a LARP girlfriend. I was a healer girlfriend, but I got good at what I did, and then I outgrew said boyfriend.
Oh, nice.
So, said boyfriend became ex-boyfriend. But guess what? I continue to LARP. So, I've gotten good at what I did. And, well, that extended to said culture and said this culture. So I'm here, and I got into furry culture, and recently I realized I was an elephant. Didn't realize I was an elephant, but here I am.
Was he a tank? The boyfriend.
Ish. He still didn't fight well. I was still a better healer. So here I am in this culture and being a LARP female, and it's not really a thing. It really isn't. Let's see. I go to the LARP, and it's automatically assumed that I'm bad at what I do, which is not a thing. And not only am I a LARP female, and I'm a healer, but I'm also a leader of a group that is very pronounced in the LARP that I play. But on top of all of that, I have people that come up to a game and they will not understand that I am a LARP female, but I will own your ass. I will tell you where to go, I will tell you what to do, and I will make sure that you fucking survive. You get too far, guess what? I'm not healing you. You decide to do something stupid, and you will resurrect.
Nothing but death spells.
And on top of that, I will fucking make sure you resurrect. Because if you don't clean up my tavern, and you don't make it so that my fucking tavern keep feeds me, I will fucking death you into the ground. So, here's the thing. As a LARP female, and as in the furry culture that I've learned, I am a rarity. Which means you should fucking listen to me. Because if you listen to me, I will make sure you survive. If you don't listen to me, you will resurrect. And you may not resurrect by the monsters on the field. You may not resurrect by wandering on your own. But you will guarantee resurrect because you will do something fucking stupid on the field and I will not heal your ass. Understand it, accept it, listen to me, or die. End of story.
It's the God's truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, first, give it for Dusty 3. I believe our friend here had some words to say.
Nah, I'm just going to talk to you on a personal level. I do tours. I've done Vegas. I've all over the U.S. I have done countless of shows. I can't keep in touch anymore. Words of advice to comedies to you guys. Don't give up. You all got action material. Play with it. Over-exaggerate. You know, like you guys with the blind camp. You had so much material. You had it going. Over-spice it, man. You had it. Like, you're gonna sit there. You know how hard it is to send love notes to each other with Braille? I mean, you have. They told me I won a watermelon contest. They could have been lying. You know, you're gonna. I know it sounds like a question thing, but use it. You have it. With Josh, man, I mean, you had school things. Over-exaggerate, I know it's a lot of school. Like I said, if it didn't happen, like you caught a fish, make it this big. You, Dusty, I was waiting for you with your tagline, bottom of the line, don't fuck with the white mage.
It's true.
You had it. Because, I mean, I'll tell you a real story. I mean, when I first did comedy, my very first stand-up, I was open mic. I got booed. It was awful. One guy actually stood up and said, you should kill yourself. I mean, what, you think I went home? I'm not funny, I'm not. I touched myself and
Who doesn't?
Well, yeah, I still kind of do. I mean, I looked at that, I was like, Anita, I love you. If we were in Florida, we'd be married. I mean, yeah.
Take care of yourself.
But then, yeah, see, you don't care what people say. You're not funny? Well, you're like, shit, well, I'm going to come back and make you laugh. Even if it's that one person, you shut their asses up. But be careful, too, also, because they'll come back and meet you outside the stage. What's up, Mr. Comic Man? Yeah, so all I'm just trying to say is you guys got it. I've done so many shows, colleges, clubs. The furry community is the nicest ever and respects everyone on stage. God bless each and one of you like that, all right? If you keep this comedy work going, you guys can make your own Comedy Centrals.
Woo!
Up for Netflix, thanks.
All right, and with that, that has been Open Mic. My name is Pokewolf, this is Elros, and this is Citrine Husky. Thank you all so much for coming out here. You all did amazing tonight. Thank you. Enjoy your convention. If you want to see more comedy, Sunday, I believe 12:30, the three of us are actually performing in Amateur Hour. We would love to see you there if you want.
AM or PM?
PM. Yeah, afternoon, yeah.
I've been drinking, don't ask me shit like
Yeah.
that.
What's the metric unit for time?
42.
Well played.
Answer everything.
Well played.
Not that awkward silence like that. He just hit mommy off the table.
Hey, eat your spaghetti, kids. Just eat your damn spaghetti.
All right, I believe in a couple minutes is MST3K, so get your money ready if you, in a half hour, main event, MST3K, get your money ready. Let's get Alkali cry drunk. That was your first time?
Yeah.
You did an amazing job for your first time.
Silver Gato Man, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gato Man, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gato Man, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.